Good morning, guys. Happy Monday. It is Monday, and we have woken up to the correction starting for both Ethereum and Bitcoin. But before we have a look at those, let's have a look at the DXY and see what the DXY has done so far. So the DXY has had quite a lot of activity over the past 12 hours. It's gone up and then it's come down, and it's a bit it's odd to see it almost breaking the previous low on the 4 hour, because it's odd to me because I didn't expect it. Also because the coins are dropping too, so they've made a slight sideways recovery, but we're not talking about reversals yet on any time frame, not even on the 1 hour for Bitcoin and Ethereum. And the DXY is right now threatening to break the previous low, and we know that it moves inversely correlated to the coins. So it's odd for me to see the past 12 hours being a drop for the DXY and a drop for the coins. Again, these correlations are happen about 70% of the time. So again, we might find ourselves in a moment when they're not correlated. They're doing their own thing. I believe the coins are doing what they're supposed to be doing. They're doing their correction. I will be giving you some invalidation levels for the correction in case, because we are in the middle of the middle. We are breaking through major support, but for instance, what the DXY is doing right now, if it is going to break the previous low, it's probably going to go lower. And with the DXY going lower, I'm mindful of the coins continuing in the same direction, because I think they will continue lower. I don't see any reason why they wouldn't continue lower, but it's just that, to me, it's a big red flag when the DXY is pushing down, and the coins are pushing down as well. So I'm a bit mindful and suspicious of that. So on the daily, which was going up, and the daily was my main trend for the DXY that I was following, and I was waiting last week for the 4 hour to do its correction, and the 4 hour took ages last week to correct to the bottom, and then it started going up. It looked great for a double bottom, and it started going up, and I was thinking, okay, we're going to go up, we're going to stay up, and we're going to bring the 1 day up as well. But the 1 day has turned down. So last night, that was the move that turned down the DXY on the stochastic on the daily. So I'm not a huge fan of that in terms of the oomph that the coins will have to push lower. However, they might just be doing their thing. So these are the two scenarios that I have in mind. They're separate. The DXY is dropping. Their economic fundamentals on a macro level supporting that, and the coins are doing their correction. But what I'd like to see is, in an ideal situation, the DXY rehabilitating to the upside while the coins are moving down. Now, I'm gonna start with the shorter time frames, because the daily time frames, nothing's changed. I'm gonna start with the shorter time frames, then work up to the dailies, and I'm gonna start with Ethereum because it was the more eventful coin to watch this weekend. It was the one that kept us on our toes, because it not only did one higher high here, but it did a second higher high here. So I kept on adjusting this ascending structure higher and higher, and I kept bringing it higher and higher until it finally showed itself. And I left it like this when it broke out, because it couldn't break back onto this line. So this is what I generally do with ascending structures. If price action had gone, if for instance this swing had gone up past this line, I would have brought the line lower, I would have brought the line like this, but it didn't. It couldn't break back into the structure, and I let it be like that, the way I had it initially. So Ethereum did 2 higher highs. They weren't super high compared to the previous peak, but what they did was they broke these levels here, which is a total catch out. Like it's when something like this happens, generally price action likes to go to the next level. It doesn't do a 6.2% correction to the downside. So it's not easy to trade a move like that, because technically once price action breaks these, its tendency is to continue to the upside. Fair enough, this was a 1 hour rejection candle, so I wouldn't have traded upwards after this candle, absolutely not. But technically, when it breaks these levels, it wants to push higher. And it looked, both of them, both Ethereum and Bitcoin, looked like they were holding support for continuation to the upside last night. However, support is support and resistance is resistance. And when we have a line like this, the 1180 to me is a massive line for Ethereum, because this is the central line of the whole consolidation. If we're going into, there we are. If we're going into the levels of our consolidation, once we break this midline, the bottom line here at 1076 would be the next target, and that would be in confluence with let me just move this a little bit lower. Perfect, there. Again, 1089 would be the target for this ascending wedge, but I would follow the 1070 target for this short down to here, because that's, again, this is sideways consolidation, sideways channel rolls. Once it breaks the midline, it will go to the bottom of it. Now, there are several aspects to watch for. This swing has, at the moment, made its 0.5 correction. I know it hasn't touched the 0.5 line here, but I will take this correction as a 0.5 correction. In terms of momentum and everything else, this is a 0.5 correction. It was a did it reach 14% swing, and now it came down 15.3% swing, and now it's come down 6.2. To me, this is a good enough correction to think, okay, we've done a significant correction. Now, what do we do when we have a significant correction? We have two possibilities. And again, I know that the trend is down, and I will focus mainly on the downtrend, and I will focus mainly on giving you the downwards targets. But until we break further down, until we break the 0.5, and until we break the golden pocket, and most importantly, until we break the 1070, which is the consolidation line, I will also tell you about the invalidation, and what if this was the correction for this swing, and now there might be another leg up. Because again, technically, and if I am to be technically correct for Bitcoin and Ethereum, XRP is doing a different thing, because XRP has already hit this top line. Could Ethereum and Bitcoin do a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a 3-step up to the top of their consolidation channels? Yes, they could. So that's why I'm really mindful about taking profit here, and also about watching for invalidations. I don't think that 0.5 is not the usual correction that Ethereum does, or Bitcoin. They generally do a 702 or a 786 in equal proportions. But the fact that it hasn't reached this top line, and the fact that it's done a 0.5 so far, leads me to believe that, again, the another leg up scenario would be on the table. Now, what would we need for that leg up scenario? What I'm gonna say now for Ethereum is true for Bitcoin. We would be looking for support on the 1 hour. So if price action, you will see me on the chat. If price action, this is the conversation that I will be having on the chats from now onwards, as I follow price action down, because I haven't taken profit from any of my Bitcoin or XRP shorts yet, but I will be looking for this. So if we gain support on the 20 EMA on the 1 hour, again, to me, that is a red flag, because what price action should do is back test the 20 and then come down. So it breaks the 20 here, it breaks the 20 here, back tests, come down. Back test the 50, comes down. Back test the 55, back test the 55 once, 2, 3 times, and then comes down. So we should be in this spilling cycle of back test and pushing down. If we see an hour breaking the 20 EMA, the second hour staying there with conviction and having the RSIs on its side to lift up, or having some vector candles, you will see me talking about watching it very, very closely, because again, that would be a great moment to go into a short. If you've taken profit so far, that would be a great moment to start a short position downwards at the backtest of the 20 EMA or the backtest of the 55 EMA on the 1 hour. But if it holds support there, it would also be a reversal pattern to do another leg up. Again, I'm not happy. I don't want to. It's not a happy moment. I am not. How can I say? Convinced with a 0.5 correction. I'm never convinced with a 0.5 correction. What I'd like to see is a golden pocket being broken 702. Again, a more convincing move. But I'll take what it is, and I'll talk to you about the direction. And the direction is clearly down. Ethereum has lost all support on the 1 hour, on the 4 hour. On the 4 hour, we have the 20 coming down over the 55. No doubt that is a big move of the crossing of the MAs. On the day, we have no support, and we have the stochastic again pushing down. So the main trend is down. There is plenty of lack of support for the main trend to be down. But what I wouldn't like to see here is the invalidation of this push down, because the correction is done, and I wouldn't like to see support on the 20 or the 55 EMA on the 1 hour. Just because Ethereum hasn't reached that top line in this range. If Ethereum had reached this up high and would be coming down from there, I would be a little bit more at ease with following it down. But being in the middle here, along the midline of this consolidation, is a little bit tricky. Again, on the daily chart, we haven't broken any particular support or resistance. What do we have here? We had 3 days ago. Was that Friday? Was that Friday or no? It was Saturday. Saturday when it tried to push. Yes. Okay, now I understand why that higher high happened. So we had a little attempt at the 20 EMA on the daily, but it didn't reach it. Again, we are staying in this small space. Could it be sideways till the apex of this, till January? I hope not. I really hope not. But it is possible. Like, if I'm looking at the daily pattern, if we don't get any tragic news to break this 1063 support and resistance level, which would be the support and resistance level of this consolidation, which would be the technical target of this ascending channel. So we have a lot of confluence. So if we don't break this, if we don't have again a confluence between the fundamentals and the technicals pushing it down, we might be in sideways for another month, and that would be terrible. But again, I don't want to make long-term predictions when we are in the middle of the move. So let's see what this move is going to do. If this move stops here and we consolidate here, then we might be in sideways. But while we're in the middle of this move, let's see what's where this move is going to take us. Okay, let's do some trade setups for this week, because it's not it's going to be quite easy compared to the Friday session. We only have at the moment range trades. So we are not out of the range. I'm not talking about a breakout at the moment for Ethereum or Bitcoin. I want to see the bottom line of this range get broken in order to talk about a breakout. What we have broken at the moment is the midline of this consolidation range. So at the moment, the first trade to make is down. Now, when's the best moment to enter a short? Back test on the 20, back test on the 55, do a 702 entry for a bit of more refinement on your entry point, or you can put a limit order on the 20. You can separate your position into two, one on the 20 and one on the 55, in case there's something a bit like here or a bit like here, something that, you know, a price action wanting to cross them both before coming down. But you know, it takes at least on the 1 hour, it takes at least 2 tests. Generally, it takes 3 back tests to break to the upside. So if we're looking, for instance, here, it broke it 1, 2, 3 back tests. The fourth one was a win and it went up. So I'm expecting something along these lines to happen. I'm not sure it's going to happen identically to this, but a back test of the 20 would be a great position for a short trade downwards. So that would be my first short trade. However, I have to tell you about the invalidation of this, because again, it's good to have this in mind. I had my invalidation levels last week in mind when I was trading for each of my trades, and I was looking at, you know, where Bitcoin or XRP would invalidate their moves. None of them have. Ethereum technically would have, because of this peak here. So Ethereum would have just tapped my invalidation levels. But again, this is a 1 hour rejection candle. It breaks the 20, the next hour continues underneath the 20 MA. Nothing to panic about when you see something like this. So even if it did break the previous high, it continued downwards very nicely and lost support. So here are the 2 possible directions. I would say the down direction is more likely because of the whole trend. The down direction is in line with the daily trend. It's in line with what the MAs are doing, what the EMAs are doing. This would be it. But the up direction, in case, you know, there's a fake out, or in case there is a market maker move to the upside to catch some liquidity, that would be it. Though I'm pretty sure there's more liquidity in longs now than it is in shorts. All of these peaks here collected a lot of longs. I was checking some liquidity maps at the weekend, and they're outrageous for Bitcoin and Ethereum in terms of how much liquidity it is in longs. Okay. Then the second thing that I want to tell you about is the breakout. How do we have the breakout confirmed? When we break the 1060, I just want to confirm that my target matches. Yes, it's the same one. So the next trade down would be breaking the level of support at 1060, and that would be coming down to make a lower low at 864. Now, this is quite likely. Again, I don't have. I know that there are how can I say, there are commentators out there that love to make a speculation on how low this will go. As a trader, I will only talk about this breakout trade when we have a confirmed breaking of the support and resistance line here. We have that broken, then we say, okay, we're going down to level 3, because that would be my level 3 in this structure. And the level 3 comes all the way down from here. So that would be why it's here. But it would be a lower low. It would be what Bitcoin did when it broke the previous low. So 864 would be the target of the breakout. That's where we are right now. We're in a very peaceful place in terms of direction. It's either gonna go down to hit the bottom of the consolidation channel. If it hits the bottom of the consolidation channel and doesn't break the 1070, 1060 mark, chances are we're going to stay in this channel and do some more of this kind of movement. So you see this consolidation here, led to this lift. This consolidation here would lead to that drop. But this one took from September to October, a month. And now this one was from sorry, let me check the dates as well. So 19th of September, 25th, a month and a week. This one hit here at on Wednesday, 9th of November. And we're 3 weeks in. So I would say we could still have 2 more weeks of consolidation before the breakout. But again, if we have news coming out this week, the breakdown can happen this week. We have plenty of consolidation made to have the breakdown. So the problem is not, oh, we haven't consolidated enough. We have consolidated plenty, but we could stay some more. Again, if I am to be super technical about this, I would like to see one more swing to the top, one more swing to the bottom, one more swing to the top, one more swing to the bottom. 3 touches to the top, 3 touches to the bottom before a channel breaks. That's what we had here in a much smaller play, in a much smaller space. We had those touches to the top and touches to the bottom. But again, where we are now with the fundamentals, this is what I don't think something like this in terms of length and swings is needed. Okay, so just to put everything in a nutshell before I take you to the weekly breakout levels, we have two lines to mind. The first one is the 1180 line, which if turned back into support could lead us to another leg up to 1290. If it's held as resistance, and if the 20 on the 1 hour holds as resistance, we have nothing to worry about in terms of continuing to the downside. We will continue to the downside as long as that line is broken and it's not turned into support. The second line is the 1070 line, and the 1070 line is the local support and resistance for this consolidation. And if that line breaks, we are heading down to 860. That would be my target for the next level for Ethereum. My measured move for this target. Because if I am to look at the daily, the target would be a lot steeper and would be 565 according to the structure on the daily. So again, as a trader at the moment, I'm telling you about 860 because that is my measured move to the next level. But also as a TA analyst, if I am to look at the daily pattern and the daily wedge, the next level would be 565, even the 480, and we checked together on Friday and we saw that there is liquidity there. There are liquidity vectors that are yet to be recovered around those levels. So with the stochastic on the daily turned down, and let me just check the week quickly. With the week not yet bottomed out, I expect that move around 560, 480, 490 to be completed in I'd say in the coming weeks, if we don't get a delay in the news and generally in the fundamentals. But again, I don't see how after all of this has happened, not continuing to the next level of the drop. I don't see how that would be possible. But that's my speculation in anticipation of the move. The TA is the TA. We've broken the support. We're holding below it. We're moving down one more level. When we get to that level of support, we're going to see how we get there and if we need to catch a breather. Okay, super. So that was Ethereum. Do you guys have any questions about Ethereum?
No, from me. Thanks, Mihaela.
You're very welcome, Lee. Okay. Now, let's see Bitcoin. Bitcoin's a little bit more simple to explain. Even though technically Bitcoin did the dirty there, breaking the previous low. So Bitcoin's one step technically ahead of everybody because it started the descent to the next level. So my level of support and resistance for level 2 was 18,600. The next level of support would be 13,300, and my technical move, the way I'm looking at Ethereum's wedge coming down for Bitcoin, that would be around 11,500 and 10,300, where it has a lot of support and resistance. So Bitcoin's trend down is stronger than Ethereum's from this perspective. Now, I know there are some things now with the FTX and a lot of, apparently there are a couple of whales out there selling Ethereum massively, so Ethereum seems to be more likely to be influenced than Bitcoin. But again, I believe the three of them, XRP, Ethereum, and Bitcoin, won't stop until they get to the next level. Bitcoin might be a step ahead of them because, again, it's broken this pink line, it's on the orange line. In my line legend, the pink lines are the stages, the levels, 1, 2, 3, and then the orange lines are intermediary levels because we need them. So, or if you are to look at them, the pink ones would be weekly ones, the orange ones would be daily ones. Pink ones serve as daily ones, but the orange ones are only relevant when we look at the daily. On the weekly, they're too small stages. Okay, now, Bitcoin was a pleasure to trade, to be honest. It's again, that's when I changed from trading Ethereum to trading Bitcoin. I regretted it because of the ranges, but in terms of how peaceful and calm it is to TA Bitcoin, there's no difference. No difference. Sorry, no. It'll come to me. God, it's missing now. There's no comparison. There's no comparison. So Bitcoin was really peaceful because look, this was Skyline, this was Mountain Peak, this was Double Top. I was giving myself a hard time last week because I took my eye off the arcs, and I shouldn't have done that because they give me the space very clearly, and it's very, very rarely that the space is broken without consequence. So here, when Bitcoin reached this level, I was looking at it and I said, no, it can't go any further. It's part of the arc and it's not breaking out, because if it were breaking out, it would be much higher than 18,000. If this arc were to break out, it would be something completely different. It would be another leg up to a higher level, to 18,300, which would be way above the 20 EMA on the daily. And then again, we'd have a different narrative, and again, we'd be in a mess TA-wise, like where are we going? With the general trend down, but support being held on the daily EMAs. Anyways, Bitcoin was great. It didn't break the previous peak. It didn't break Friday's peak either. Thursday night, Fridays. It went up and did a triple top formation, and here we are. The 200 MA on the 1 hour held it very nicely. We had a line there as well, and I love it when the MAs and the support lines get in confluence, because it shows how strong they are, both of them. So here was the trade setups, and on Friday we were saying it. I was saying we could go up to the top of the range, which would be the technical thing to do. In these scenarios, we have a range, and we move up and down between the tops and the bottoms of that range. We didn't go there. Could we still go there? Absolutely, we could. This is still our range. We haven't broken out of this range. We made a 0.5 correction. It's generally, Bitcoin doesn't stop there. It goes to 702, 786. 786 would be in confluence with the level of support here at 15,700. 15.7. So I'm going to say the same thing as I said for Ethereum. We have only made a 0.5 correction. 0.5 corrections, generally, if they stop at the 0.5 and don't go further, they don't break the golden pocket, they could be a correction on the way up. So they would be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up to 17,141. This would, again, I'm starting with the invalidation because I want to clear the invalidation scenario in case you're in a short trade and you're watching it. You don't want to be caught, seeing it break above the 20 EMA on the 1 hour, looking at it like, why is this happening? How come this is happening? I thought we were breaking down. With a 0.5 correction, which is still narrow, the momentum is still kept to the upside. However, we have plenty of momentum pushers to the downside. The 20 EMA and the 55 EMA have crossed on the 1 hour, and we have no support on the 4 hour. So I'm gonna do a quick MA analysis for both Ethereum and Bitcoin at the end, and you will see that there are plenty of MAs pushing down. No doubt about how strong momentum downwards is. I'm only talking about what if the market makers decide to blow it out of the stratosphere, as they did here. Because here, for instance, we were hoping, here's where we're gonna get the breakdown, and we had to live through all of this just to we had to live through all of this for the correction to start happening, and then again think this is the big breakdown. So what happened here is, when this broke the 20 EMA, we had 1, 2, 3 corrections, the same as Ethereum. I think we could even take this one 4 corrections down, but a minimum of 3. A minimum of 2 generally. Here, because it is a downtrend, a minimum of 3 is what I will be watching. I won't be putting in a stop loss to secure profits, because I don't want to go through this again, to be honest. I don't like, if it breaks the 20 the 4th time or the 3rd time and goes up, I'll be putting in a stop loss here to secure profits, and then wait at that back test to go in to another position. I'm not going to wait for this, because to me, it's, as a trader, it's not so profitable, because I want to be trading all of this up and down and be making more money. As I was telling me, I like money. So I just want to, I know that the trend is down. So if the trend starts asserting itself and we break through the support and resistance at 15,700, then of course I'll be watching it move down, and it will be a very nice move down. My next level would be the 14,000. I won't be taking any profit until we get around the 13.3 mark. So that would be my mark where I would be looking to take profit. But in the meantime, I'm not gonna worry about the 1st, the 2nd, or even the 3rd test of the 20 EMA, the 4th one. I want to see this being just this, a back test, and then a push down. Because here is where I'm going to have a stop loss to secure profit. I don't want to be in for another lift that could take me up to my entry level, which is right about here. It's 17,100. So I don't want to be in for all of that, a week of waiting. So that's why I have that invalidation scenario in mind. In case you're wondering why is she talking about it, because I would like to see this downtrend continue rather than this be another downswing in this consolidation, which, as I've showed you, could go on for another 2 weeks. So money first. Let's see where this takes us. Now, having discussed the invalidation in my opinion shouldn't go past the 17. I'm going to be very generous here, 17,200. There is another level at 18,000, which again is a valid level for this stage where we are at the moment. But I don't see how we would have momentum as a market in the crypto market to push. I'll tell you in a second how much that would be. %, another 12% from where we are right now. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think that is likely. I believe that we're going to see a push down from here. And again, I'm keeping my take profit at 13.3. But I want to see the next level being broken. So I'm gonna keep the same. Arrows here because it is about the same levels that we were talking about on Friday. The weekend was very uneventful. Again, usually I don't trade the weekends. There are only a couple of weekends I traded, and I traded profitably. And I think they were just exceptionally volatile. So that's why I would tell you, don't trade the weekends, have fun the weekends, because we have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday when there's great day trades to be made. So here we have Monday is generally fake move day, and it's an order settling day as well. So Monday wasn't fake move. However, yes, that's another thought that I want to tell you. Monday wasn't fake move last week. Monday is this happened on Monday, the lift here. Tuesday, why is this Monday? Okay, no, I take it. I remember that Monday so Monday was fake Monday last week. Sorry guys, my thought is invalidated now, because I remember Monday being to the upside last week, and Monday was to the upside. This was the back test, and then it came down, but then it stopped there, and Tuesday continued to the upside. So that's what I had in mind. To my mind, Monday didn't have this, but Monday had this. So the fake move on Monday was to the downside. Midday it changed, so it first moved up and then down. Let's see, Monday is generally fake move day. If today is again a sideways day, then we might see some more continuation tomorrow to the downside. What we want to see is the 15,700 being broken, and once that 15,700 is broken, we are looking at this target for continuation. This was my initial. I'm gonna adjust this because this was based on a triangle that I had here. I vaguely remember. I was changing a lot through patterns last week as price action was unfolding. Okay, so this would be the level 3 for this accumulation structure, and it would be 14,500. But again, I wouldn't stop anywhere around anywhere below 13,500. I know this is the measured move, but generally moves like this have a particular momentum and they have a particular weight to them. So I don't think it's gonna stop before it gets to the daily level 13.7, 13.3, and 10,000. These would be my daily levels. But measured move is 14,500. There will be probably some great daily levels on Traders Reality to follow at that moment. Okay, so these are the two trades that I see for this week as more likely: the move down and the correction to the 786 for Bitcoin down to 15.7, and then the breakout down. The invalidation would be after a couple of tests of the 20 EMA. So if the 20 EMA starts getting very heavily tested, yes, we can expect a lift up, because at the moment, with this tiny correction of only 0.5, momentum can still keep going. I don't think it will keep going. If you are to ask me, what do you think? I don't think it will keep going. I think we'll keep breaking down. But I just wanna let you know that I will be putting in a stop loss after the third test of the 20 EMA. If it doesn't keep going down, I'll put a stop loss there, and it's either gonna come down or break upwards and do some more sideways action. And I don't. Again, that sideways action can be just sideways within a 2% range, or it can be what it was last week, a 10%, 15% lift for Ethereum. So until I get myself for Christmas a beautiful crystal ball to see what's into the future, I would be taking profits. I would be securing profits after the third test of the 20 EMA. Just for you to watch for, because I'll be telling you on the chats as well, just for you to know and to watch for, and also know what I'm talking about when I say, I'm securing profits here, because it's the third back test of the 20 EMA. Okay. I told you we're gonna look at the EMAs. I'm a minimalist in life. I have 5 of everything. As far as I'm concerned, like my possessions and everything, and I do the same with my trading. So I have 5 MAs that I watch for, the 50, the 5, the 10, the 20 as part of the Bollinger Bands, and I love the Bollinger Bands, their MAs themselves, and the 200. And I watch them on all time frames to see their play. So we're gonna start with the MAs on the daily, and as you can see, it's pretty brutal what's going on. The 20 is coming down, the 5 is coming down, 10 is coming down. The Bollinger has crossed down the 50. The Bollinger, the top line and bottom line of the Bollinger are MAs as well. And when the Bollinger crosses a bigger time frame MA, like the 200 or the 50, then that's trouble. That's or a lift. So when you see, for instance, the Bollinger crossing down here, there will be a lift. Not necessarily in this situation, but for instance, here there was a drop. If it crosses up, it continues the lift, and so on. So it's just like an MA, that Bollinger activity. On the 12-hour, so again, nothing major in terms of support or reversal. Now the 12-hour is, again, what I'm looking at the 12-hour. The 12-hour looked great for support last night. I couldn't believe. I was expecting a lift to the 17,200 last night. Before I went to bed, I expected to wake up to a lift to 17, maybe even the 50 here. The 50 here, 17,400 on the 12-hour, because it was holding so nicely. The 20, which is the white line here, was holding very nicely until it broke it. And once this midline is broken, once the 20 is broken on the Bollinger, the next stop is the bottom 15.8, and you can see it never stops right on the Bollinger. It generally pierces through it. So I expect our next level 15.7 to be hit. I don't think we'll have any obstacles in the way of 15.7. And now the 4-hour. This is the one that I believe is leading the momentum right now, and that's why I will be waiting to put that stop loss in to secure profits. I'm not rushing with the stop loss at the moment because the 4 hours, the 4 hour is leading momentum. The 4 hour price action has crossed down the 50, and the 5 only has come down. We still have the 10 and the 20 to push down, and the way the 5, for instance, crossed here and it lifted, the way the 10 crossed here and after this little push down it lifted, the way the 20 crossed here and it lifted, the same way it's gonna happen on the way down. The 10 will push down and it will push price action further, not necessarily to a lower low, but it will do another low. The 20 will come down and it will push lower. So all of these coming down over the 50 on the 4 hour will push price action down. I have no doubt about that, unless we start having a very abrupt reversal on the 1 hour, which I don't see it happening at the moment, to be honest. Like this is where the 20 is, this is where price action is. Hasn't even touched it once. I don't see it happening at the moment, not with the way momentum is right now. So Bitcoin is looking great, fantastic for continuation to the downside. All we need is a couple more cycles of the 4 hour to bring the 10 and the 20 down over the 50. For Ethereum, I don't think I have the Ethereum MA chart at the moment. Let me just load it up. There. At the moment we have, again, the 1 hour looks tragic for Ethereum. We haven't even had one backtest to the 20. Everything is staying quite reasonably arranged for push down. But again, when if this correction were deeper and if we were resting around the golden pocket or the 702, I'd be a little bit more calm with this continuing down. But again, it's just that we might need to give it some time. Might need to be patient with this. It's just my patience after all this week of a lift. I was like, come on, 0.5, that's all you're giving us. So, but here are the 4 hour MAs, and the 4 hour MAs for Ethereum look a little bit more severe than what's going on with Bitcoin, to be honest, because the 5 hasn't even crossed down and we are below the 50. The 10 is coming down over the 20. So we still have a couple of 4 hour cycles, maybe, I don't know, maybe 4 hour cycles. We need to see these MAs come down and push down over the 50, and that will bring price action down. The same, when the 5 crossed upwards over the 50, it led to this peak. When the 10 crossed over, there was a little bit of a recovery here, but there it was lifted again. When the 20 crossed over, it did this. The same thing is going to happen on the way down. So we had higher highs on the way up. We're going to have lower lows on the way down when these start crossing down. And you can backtest if you don't believe me. You can backtest, for instance, here. Here's the 5 crossing down, and this is the drop. Here's the 10 crossing down, and this is the drop. Here's the 20 crossing down, and here's the drop. So, you'll see the same phenomenon happen over and over again. Okay, so let's have a look at the day just to make sure. Yeah. Again, there's no support. We had the support of the 5, we had the support of the 10. they were looking great. We were even touching the midline of the Bollinger for the past 2 days, which was great, but it was just a back test. So the way we have back test on the 1 hour before it breaks, we have the same thing on the day. It might not happen as much as on the day. For instance, here, back tested once, twice, 3, no, 4 times. 5th time it breaks it. 1, twice, 3rd time. There's some tests here. So from where it breaks it, there's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 time. Okay, I take that back. So yeah, we still need more tests on the 20 on the daily in order to reverse them. But that to us in our 1 hour level scenario is not so relevant, because a 20 back test would be higher. It wasn't in this case, but usually it could be higher. Anyways, long story short, I believe the downtrend will continue. I don't have any reasons to believe it won't. The only thing that I'm watching for is for this not to be just a swing in that sideways. And in order to avoid getting trapped in another swing up, after the 3rd test of the 20 EMA on the 1 hour, I will be putting a stop loss in to secure profits and allow it to do whatever. Nobody's ever regretted getting paid, so I won't either. That's it. I'll be posting these trades in the chats. Let me know if you have any questions, and have a happy week.